Hello, everybody. It's now 9 p.m. And I think those of you who attend our webinars regularly, you know that we always start on time. So feeling great. Very happy to be with you again here on a Thursday evening. So how are you feeling tonight? Let us know. Let us know in the chat box. How are you feeling? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling positive? Or you can't wait for Friday to be here? Or you feeling tired after a long day of work? How are you feeling? Let us know. Yeah, so we have Deborah. Deborah say loves your stories. Thank you. Ellen say yay. Okay, and let's see who else is here. Ellen say feel like flying to the moon. Okay, I think that's great. Yeah, hopefully there's a nice thing, to fly to the moon. Gladys say feeling good. Freddie say feeling good. Freddie say feeling good. Wow, awesome. So great to always see the positive energy from our community here at the lunch actually webinars. So those of you who are joining us for the first time, I think I saw Joe just now who said that I'm joining this for the first time. I hope it's going to be good. So definitely, Joe, I am sure you would have a good and productive time with us tonight. So let us know at the end of this, how you feel and what do you learn from our webinar tonight. Okay, so let's see, definitely we have people from all different countries who are joining us tonight. So maybe you can just give a shout out to us right now to let us know where are you from. I know a lot of you are from Singapore, but I know there are a lot of you from other different countries and cities as well. So okay, let's see who's here. Okay, Anna said I'm working and watching this. Okay, Anna, I think you can chill out for 1 hour. Yes, join us and listen and listen to our webinar tonight because there's a lot of awesome gems that we'll be sharing with you tonight. Okay, so we have Cheng from Singapore, Nadia from Indonesia, Deborah from Jakarta, Gladys from Singapore, Vicky from KL, Adlina from Malaysia, DSD from Thailand, Cindy from Hong Kong. Wow, awesome. So I see that we have audience from all the different countries that we are in. So welcome to all of you, thank you for joining us again, once again. And one thing, do we have any teachers in the room right now? Let me know. Any of you who are teachers, because some of you might be aware that actually tomorrow is Teachers Day here in Singapore. So I'd like to really give a special shout out, and I want to wish teachers out there, lecturers, educators who might be on this call right now, happy Teachers Day. I'm sure, a lot of us have very fond memories of some of our teachers. I know maybe not all our teachers, but definitely we would have fond memories of some of our teachers. I definitely have one. I remember that when I was in primary 2, there's this teacher, her name is Miss Shirley. She's my English teacher, and actually she was the one who cultivated my reading habit. Like I remember I did really well for my English test, and she gave me my first ever Enid Blyton book. Yeah, so who else, love Enid Blyton books when you were growing up? Yeah, so she gave me my first ever Enid Blyton book, and since then I have been like an Enid Blyton fan. I read so many different Enid Blyton books, and because of that, I really found my flair for writing as well. So it's all thanks to this teacher, Miss Shirley. Yeah, so I see some of you who say that me, you guys read Enid Blyton book as well, and Nancy Drew. Yes, I read that as well. And actually, we do have a special promotion for teachers this month, since it's like Teachers Day. So if you're a teacher, you'd like to find out more, you can just send a private message to Christina, so I think those of you who have been with us for a while, you are very familiar with Christina, which is our wonderful, head of PR and communications, who is always behind the scene and making sure that everything goes really well. Okay, so let's get things started. So we would just want to make sure that everybody knows how the webinar works and all the different functions that we are using on this webinar right now. So I see that a lot of you are very good at using the chat. Awesome, you're sending in your messages, saying hi and things like that. Another function that we use a lot during our webinar is actually the polling or the survey. So I'm going to put out our first poll for tonight, so to just make sure that everybody knows how this function works. So my first question to you for tonight is this your first time joining our webinar? So you should see it right in front of you right now. It should be a pop-up, and you can just vote away. Yeah, so I see a lot of you who are voting right now. So interestingly, yes, like we do have quite a few newbies who are joining us. So Joe, you're not alone. And to all of you newbies who are joining us, yes, you're definitely in great company. Like I guarantee you, you're going to have a lot of fun tonight because our webinars are always very, I would say, interactive. So it's not just us talking, like we really want to get you involved as well. Okay, so just going to close the poll. More than 60% of you have voted. So it is your last chance to vote if you have not voted. So we're going to close the poll right now. Okay, so we have quite a lot of you who have been with us for a number of times, So newbie, we have 24%. And then about 32% of you say that you have joined 2 or 3 of our webinars. Another 32% say that I've joined 5 or 6 of your webinars. Awesome. Thank you, guys. And of course, we have diehard fans who say that 12% say, I'm a fan. I think I've attended more than 10 of your webinars. Wow, that's amazing. So I think this is like our 23rd webinar. So it's amazing. So some of you have been like, attending more than half of our webinars, or maybe some of you might even have attended every single one. Is there anybody who have attended every single one of our webinar? Let us know in the chat box right now. Okay, so definitely, I see a lot of familiar names. And once again, I just want to thank each and every one of you for just joining us. And wow, Gordon say me, so Gordon, he has attended every single one of our webinar. Awesome. Thank you, Gordon. Really, really appreciate it. Yes. Kaska say, yeah, me too. Okay. So I mean, honestly, putting up the weekly webinar, it's not easy. It's actually a lot of work, especially for Christina and her team. But at the same time, the reason why we are doing it is because it's just so fun to spend a Thursday evening with you guys. And you guys are always so positive, so happy, so energetic. And of course, we see this as a way to give back as well to our community. So it is not easy because, for example, like for our 2 panelists who are joining us tonight, they have had a long day at work, so this is really after work. But at the same time, they tell me that they really enjoy sharing their experience and their expertise with all of you guys. So like you can see, like this is how it's going to be. Lots of interaction, lots of polls. So if you did not join us in our first poll just now, please make sure that you join us when we launch our next survey. Okay, and remember, as always, do stay till the end of the webinar because we always have a special webinar gift for all of our participants. And today, we have something that's very relevant to the topic tonight. Okay, so I'm very excited about tonight's webinar because I think a lot of you have shared with us that you use dating apps and you're not sure whether you are using it correctly. You're not sure how come, like your friends say they also use dating app. They seem to be getting a lot of responses. They seem to be getting a lot of requests and things like that, but somehow you just feel that it's not really working out the way that you think that it would. So that's why tonight we are going to have our resident date coaches. We have Angela and we have Melinda, who will be critiquing and also correcting some common online dating profile mistakes. Okay, and of course we want to be sharing with you some immediate tips, things that you can just use it right away. Like, you can even just take out your phone right now, where they are going through it, and then on the spot make some changes to your profile, which will then, like help you to get better responses. Okay, so who's interested? Who wants to get started? Let us know. Are you excited for tonight's webinar? And what are you hoping to learn? Let us know in the chat right now. So Anna say, I feel really cheesy when I post my profile at dating app. Okay. Deborah say, yay, I can't wait to get started. Yeah, Hajono say yes. Okay, awesome. So I think before we start, we also want to know, right? Like when you are creating online dating profiles, what do you find most challenging? So, of course, we have prepared some great tips tonight, but at the same time, we also want to know where should our experts be focusing on. Okay, so I'm going to launch the second poll right now. So you should see it on your screen. So yeah, so what do you find most challenging when it comes to creating a profile for your, when you're using dating app? Okay, let's see. Yep, a lot of people are voting right now. Yep, more than 20%. Yes, so while I wait for your answers. So I think Gladys said, yes, I'm excited to learn. Awesome. Yeah, we just love how you guys are, like really focused and really wanting to, always improve yourself. That's super awesome. Okay, 60% have voted. Okay, let's see, who else have not voted. This is your time to just let us know, like what do you find most challenging when it comes to creating a profile. And I'm sure that it's something that you find challenging, because if not, you probably won't join us for this webinar tonight. Okay, wow, 70% have voted. I'm going to close the poll right now. And okay, so the highest percentage is okay, I don't know whether this is good or bad. I guess it's good. That means that you definitely would have a lot of takeaways for tonight. So the highest percentage is more than 52% of you say that all of the above. I just don't know how to make my profile stand out. Okay, so Angela and Melinda, okay, so we have a lot of very eager learners out there for tonight. Let's give it our best shot to help them improve their profile. And the second highest is 37% for writing the about me part to describe myself. Oh, interesting. And actually, the one that is, very few people actually chose that. Only 7% chose that, is choosing which photos to display. So it seems that, most of you know which photo to display. And the fewest people who have chosen this answer is writing about my likes, hobbies, and interests. I guess, because hobbies and interests and what you like is quite straightforward. So I guess most people do not have challenges with that. Okay, so not to worry, we have definitely prepared a lot of great tips for you tonight. So hang in there, we'll get there. Okay, so since there are quite a number of you who are new to our webinar, we'll just want to do a very quick introduction. So I think those of you who have tuned in, quite early, you would have watched some of the videos that we have put up. So the thing is, how I ended up becoming a matchmaker is not because my childhood dream was to be one. So I actually, studied law and then, worked in a bank. And it was actually during my 1.5 years in the bank where I saw that a lot of my colleagues were single and not dating. And I wanted to really help them. So I was actually inspired by my single colleagues. And that was 16 years ago. The rest is history. So lunch, actually, we are in 5 different countries. So just now, when we did, just a quick shout out, you have seen that, definitely we have some of our members or some of the singers from Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, Indonesia, and Thailand. And we have a lot of different dating products. So I think most importantly, it's really about our matching philosophy. So I think a lot of platforms out there, it really focus on helping singles to meet. But what we have realized after being in the industry for 10 years later, like a decade later, we realized that finding the right person, meeting the right person is not enough, because a lot of times, in order to succeed or even really find the right one, it's really also about being the right person and choosing the right person. And that's also one of the reasons why we are so passionate about running these weekly webinars, because we feel that this is our way to give back, to really help singers to be the best version of themselves, so that, other than just providing you with the platform, we also want to share with you great ways, great tips on how you can level up in terms of your mindset as well as your skill set. So of course, other than the weekly webinars that we run, we also provide matching services, we arrange dates for singles. We also provide date coaching and image coaching. And most recently, we have also done a beta launch of our Lunch Actually app. So if there's something you're interested in, you can check it out in the app stores. Yes, so that's about me and the company. And of course, most important of all right now, I would like to invite our special panelists, 2 of them, to give you an introduction about themselves. So I think for those of you who have joined us on multiple webinars, you might have met them before, but those of you who have not joined us previously, so I would really like to quickly welcome Angela and Melinda, who are both our senior dating coaches. And so yes, please give them the Lunch Actually welcome, so please say welcome in the chat right now. And while you do that, I would like to invite Angela to give a brief introduction of herself.
Hello, hi, I'm Angela. How are you doing? So I have been a senior date coach with Lunch Actually for 6 years. So my role is basically to analyze where and what are the dating challenge each single is facing and help them to overcome these obstacles. So one of my recent clients, I remember a young lady, she is in her 30s, early 30s. So when using online dating apps, she was like too focused on fulfilling her own requirements. But she forgot other people also choosing her. So as a result, she couldn't get any dates. So after a few coaching sessions, we were able to establish that she should first be the right person and then choose the right one. Meaning she had to display her best self to attract guys before she choose what she is looking for. So now she is happily attached.
Oh, awesome, Angela. That's awesome. Like I was like wondering what is the twist to the story, or was like, like fingers crossed that she would meet someone. Yeah, very happy to hear that after getting your advice, she's now happily attached. Awesome. So over to you, Melinda.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Hi, I am Melinda, and I am a senior date coach and a relationship manager with Lunch actually as well. I work with my clients on every facet of their dating journey. So, from helping them find the right match and supporting them even while they are dating. So, I've been with Lunch actually for about 5 years, and I have so many stories to share. But I think a quick one, which is relevant to today's topic, is about a male client of mine who he just did a very small change in his profile, his dating app, and he already got so many matches and he's meeting so many people through all these dating apps. And what he did was just by updating his photos. So it's very easy and it's very doable. And you can do it yourself. Of course, you need to know how. So we hope to share more in this webinar.
Awesome. Thank you, Melinda. And I totally agree with you. And when you say that, it just suddenly reminded me of this friend of mine. So, he's actually very eligible, like great profile actually. But then he was telling me he wasn't having much luck with online dating. And then I was quite curious. Then I said, okay, why don't you show me your profile? And then when I saw his photo, I almost fainted. So he has this really very strange photo, which he thought it was very funny, but I told him, no, it's not funny at all. Please change it. So like you say, sometimes it's just a very small tweak, and yes, and he really like got a lot of more matches after that. Okay, so once again, thank you, Angela and Melinda, for your wonderful introduction. And if yeah, so one thing we also would like to give you the opportunity to do so. So during the sign up for this webinar, right, we did say that you can send us your profile, and you might be the lucky person whose profile is chosen, and we might be providing feedback on your profile. But if you did not manage to do that, not to worry. What you can also do is you can just copy and paste what you usually put on your profile in the Q&A box. So I guess you can't put in your photos and things like that, but you can just put in, because I think a lot of you have said that your problem is about the about us. So maybe you just want to copy and paste what you usually write for your about us, and put into the Q&A box. And if we have time, we would like to maybe just give you some pointers on how you can improve on that. Okay, so yes, please do that if you want us to comment on that. So without further ado, now I would really like to dive into the first topic for tonight, which is how to level up your online dating profile to get more quality matches. So of course, a very quick question to our audience right now, right? So this is your chance, to fill up the poll again if you did not manage to do it previously. It's like, we would like to find out from you, so what are the dating apps that you frequently used? Okay, so have launched it right now. So you can just share with us, what are some of the apps that you actually use? So I think if you use more than one, like maybe you can choose the one that you use most often. Yeah, or like I see that some of you actually say none. I don't use dating apps. Interesting. So I think maybe you might be here because you want to find out a bit more about how to use dating apps more effectively. So definitely you are at the right place as well. Okay, so let's see, the answers coming in. Yep, quite a lot of you have voted. I'm just giving you a bit more time. There's definitely a clear winner in terms of the preferred dating app. Some of you say that the app that I use is not in the list. Yeah, so you can just type it here, which you did. Okay, awesome. So Billy say that he actually used Tantan. Yeah, but it's not listed. James, yes, you can also type in what you usually use. Yes, quite a number of you say Tantan. Interesting. So So I think Tantan is probably maybe one of quite a popular app as well, so we should have included it. Okay, going to end the poll right now. So the clear winner that a lot of you are actually using this app, 38%, is actually Coffee Meets Bagel. Yeah, awesome. I actually know the founders. I have really met one of the founders, and it's definitely an awesome app. And if I have to recommend an app that's not ours, usually I would recommend Coffee Meets Bagel. So great choice there, guys. And followed by Tinder. Okay, awesome. Okay, so now moving on very quickly, right? So those of you who have used dating apps, so be honest with us, like what makes you swipe right on a profile? Okay, so usually what makes you swipe right on the profile? And okay, so same thing, like we are going to put out a poll. So let's see what you guys say. Okay, what makes you swipe right? Okay, so for those of you who like do not use apps that much, or you cannot remember what is swiping right, so swiping right means you know you choose the person lah, you want to get to know the person better. Okay, so the poll is out there right now. What makes you swipe right on a profile? That's quite a lot of options, but of course again, like it's the main one, like usually what is the deciding factor for you to swipe right. Okay, so this one seems to also have a clear winner. Okay, and I think this is not surprising at all. I guess that's how apps are made. Yeah, so it's very focused on one particular factor. Okay, so I'm going to end the poll right now, and the answer is a lot of you, 47%, almost half of you actually say their profile picture. Okay, so definitely profile picture is a big thing, and we are going to talk a bit about that. And follow quite closely, 34%, their bio. Okay, so I think those of you who are using dating apps, like definitely you need to get the photo right, because almost half of the people in the room are saying like that's the main thing that make them swipe right. And of course followed by bio. And then Gordon says should give multiple choice. Okay, I'm not sure whether a Zoom poll allow multiple choice. Chris, maybe we can look into that. Okay, so which factor influence your decision to match someone the most, right? Like we actually also have a survey result other than what you all have shared with us. And based on this survey result, same thing, quite similar to what you all have shared. And in fact, actually, our participants in the room tonight are even more focused. Physical attractiveness, like here you see that is 33.95%, and tonight actually the poll showed that is 47%. Okay, and what attracts you to someone on dating apps? Okay, so I think the next slide, same thing lah. It's also their profile picture lah. Okay, so I think I make it very obvious, and I think you also know lah. So let's jump in right away, right? So let's hear from Angela. Like Angela, share with us. Like I'm sure you have coached a lot of our singers on like choosing the right profile picture. Like I mean, of course, sometimes they will say that, oh, like I'm not so photogenic, I'm not so I'm not like a model or whatever, right? But I'm sure that not most of us are not models lah, so don't worry about that. But I'm sure Angela has some great tips on for us on how we can actually create an irresistible online profile. So over to you, Angela.
Yes, thank you. So usually when they say they are using online dating apps, and when they come to my session, the first question they usually ask would be, hey, how many pictures should I put up? So most people either upload too little pictures or too many. So the ideal number is 3 to 4 pictures. The key is to upload different type of pictures. Sometimes we see profiles with 3 to 4 pictures of the same pose or same angle. So even though they have had the correct amount of pictures, however, it doesn't help to share their personality or create a story of who they are. So you should always aim to have at least one picture that able to show your personality. For example, traveling pictures, your hobbies, or funny pictures, or active pictures. So one picture, another picture is a close-up picture, able to see your face clearly. So if you are a lady, putting on some light makeup in this closer-up picture would help. The last one, full body picture. Okay, use colors to stand out, and also remember to smile. Okay, of course, there are things that pictures we should avoid as well. On the first profile picture, avoid covering your face or looking down, as it makes you like look sad or unhappy. So which is not the impression you want to give to someone who doesn't really know you yet, and they are still judging you based on the pictures you have put on. So if you are a guy, my advice would also don't put too many selfie as usually it may not like appear to be very masculine, or you may appear to be like a little bit self-absorbed.
Thank you so much, Angela. I totally agree with you. I think, if I'm a singer and I see a profile of a guy with too many selfies, I'll be a bit like, how come this guy seem to take more selfies than me? So yeah, I think I'll be a bit yeah, and I'll totally agree with you. Definitely 3 to 4 pictures showcasing different angles, and also like what you have mentioned, to show different sides of yourself, like, so not just all like just your face, but some showing you doing something that you enjoy. So I think that's really important. And I think another thing to also remember is not to put photos of yourself with like a big group of people, because honestly, like, I mean, they don't even know who you are, right? And also, why do you want to put yourself in comparison with other people? Like, this is your profile. You just want the focus to be on you. And do avoid pictures of yourself with, like someone of the opposite gender, just like both of you. Like, because again, like people will just think, okay, who is this person? Even though the person could be your brother, your cousin, and things like that, right? I mean, if you're a lady, but why even put people through all of this questions or thoughts, right? So these are some of the quick tips that we have for you. So right now you can maybe scroll through your own profile and see, are you committing some of these mistakes that Angela and I have just shared. And of course, Melinda, I think you also have some great tips for our singers tonight on what they should do or they should not do when it comes to profile pictures.
Yes, Violet. So a very common mistake that I think is very easily overlooked is the over-filtering of photos. And we have a poll. We actually do have a chart that shows what dating profile photos are the most irritating. So if you look at this chart that we have here, so 30% of singles say that overly filtered or fake photos irritates them the most. Yeah, so I want to know, like, is this the same with our listeners tonight? Is this something that irritates all of you as well? If it is, maybe you want to put like yes in the chat. Yeah, because I think it's yes, okay, yeah. So I saw someone say the gym and the sunglass one as well. Yes, I think these are really the common, very irritating profile photos that we want to avoid. So I think editing pictures is okay, and it's very easy thanks to all the free photography apps that we have all download easily on our handphones. It's not a bad thing. I'm guilty of also touching up my photos, but overdoing it is I don't think it's advisable. It completely changes the way you look. So for example, if you look at some of the sample photos that we have here, yeah. So if you look at this lady on the left without her any makeup, right? And she looks herself. And the one with heavily filters, so with the full makeup on, she really looks like a totally different person. I mean, I don't know how she looks like if she really put on her makeup, but it really doesn't show the true person. Yeah. So if too much makeup, especially through filters, it's not advisable. Same thing with using very cute decorative things around you. So I think it's very common in Snapchats. Am I supposed to say Snapchat? But anyway, so like if you have a lot of emoticons around you, or like very cute nose or little cute ears, yeah. So I think it's a bit too much, a little bit overboard. So sometimes I wonder, if they have all this on their faces, are they really trying to hide something as well? And so try not to be too cute and try not to make it too flawless. Yeah. So I think one of the mistake that I realized is because a lot of people actually do filtering on their handphone on these apps, and they don't realize how much they are actually editing till they actually put it out there on their social media. So it's really good to actually, check yourself when you're doing your filters. And in another survey that we have, 70% of singles consider the use of heavily filtered photos to be deceptive. So it's not being honest, and it really doesn't show the true person. So if your photos are too dark, if your pictures are too dark, instead of using filters to brighten them, plan ahead. If you're outside or if you're in the daytime, I think it's good to look for a brighter place to take picture. So do plan ahead, because natural sunlight or natural light actually usually makes us look better. Of course, if you have to take a picture at night, then just note that white light it's not good on us. It's very harsh. Yeah, it doesn't look very good on us. So look for warmer lights, yellow, orangey lights. It gives us a glow. Thanks, Violet.
Thank you, Melinda. That's awesome. So actually, we have a question. I think maybe quite a number of people might also be wondering about the same thing. So Melinda, maybe you just might want to take this question. So and G say, what's wrong with the third photo from the left? She looks nice. So I think that was one of the photo that was put up. Yeah.
So I think that picture, so I think it's the makeup. I think it's just a little bit, maybe like the eyebrows a bit thick, or it doesn't show the true person. So I think we should have
a bit overboard lah.
Yeah, just maybe a little bit too much makeup. Yeah.
Yes, got it. Thanks
you,
Melinda.
for the question.
Yeah, so I totally agree about the filters, and I think the statistics that Melinda has shown us as well is really interesting. And I think someone have also shared, Sunny have actually shared, I experienced dating a girl from a dating app whereby her profile photo I think was from years ago, and she looks totally different when I met her in person. Sigh. So actually we also wanted to say that a big photo mistake is to put out very outdated photos of yourself from like 10 years ago. So I mean, age is a real thing, like time is a real thing, and potentially we might not look as young as we did 10 years ago, but at the same time I think if we put out something that's super outdated, and it might give false hopes to the other person as well. And when you finally meet in person, I think the other person might just feel like they have been deceived, or it wouldn't work out well as well. So I think be very careful when using filters, definitely. Okay, so to the next part right now, which is really about writing your bio. So I think quite a number of you have mentioned that this is definitely something that you struggle with quite a bit. So Angela, what advice would you have for our participants tonight to level up when it comes to writing their profile bio?
Okay, thank you, Violet. So my advice is to give some structure to your profile. So create some mini paragraphs that each tells a story. So you can take a look of this example. So the first paragraph, you can start with a funny opener, if you have. Second paragraph, you can talk about your interests, what you enjoy doing. Third paragraph, your passion for travel photography. Fourth paragraph, you can talk about your work, your profession. So this way your profile would be more interesting and show a different aspect to your personality. So this would also make the reader easier to read and easier to digest.
Yeah, thank you for that, Angela. I think that's really giving a very good structure to a profile, because if you think about it, like your profile would not be the first profile that someone else is reading. Chances are, I don't know, like you might be like the 10th or 20th profile that the person is reading, not just like like in their dating journey, but tonight, right? So you really want to be standing out, and I think like this structure that Angela has provided gives a really nice way for you to tell a bit more about yourself. And also it helps people to remember you, because like I say, they are just reading through so many profiles, and if it's really what you're writing is all over the place, they can't really have a hook or like really remember who you are. So okay, let's see. The other thing that you really want to be doing is also to create a clickbait, so like how all these articles that we are reading right now, right? Like when we see it on Facebook, or we see it like in one of our social media feed, and then like we'll be like so tempted to click on it. So same thing, like how do we actually create clickbait, right? So using this profile as an example, so the reader who's now reading this profile can actually have many different entry points to start a conversation with you, because sometimes like when people see your profile, it's not like they are not interested, but they might also think, okay, how do I actually, you know, come in and talk to this person and also appear like very interesting? So why not just, you know, help the person out, right? So for example, like by using such a profile, like the reader, you know, like the person who is interested in your profile can actually ask about your trip to Japan, or the person can actually comment about your Iceland trip, or like the person can, wow, you know, this person really likes to travel, and might even suggest like a fun adventure that you know, maybe you can explore, or even connect with you, you know, on your passion for traveling. So, you know, like in just two simple sentences, you know, like within this profile, you have already revealed that you like to travel, you're open-minded, you know, you have a passion for nature, and that family is really important to me. So like this is what we are talking about, to like be really creative and really interesting when writing a profile, so that it really provide opportunities for people to, you know, like get to know you better. Melinda, you know, what about you? Like I think you probably have you know, some tips for us as well.
Yes, for your profile bio, I recommend to remove all negativity. So don't talk about or don't use negative language, yeah, because what we put out there is what we get back, and that's the law of attraction. So if you're going to be all negative on your profile, and you're just going to attract negative people, but to be honest, I think you're not actually going to get any matches at all, because even negative people will not want to be associated with negative people, to be honest. Yeah, so in a survey that we actually conducted last year in 2019, we found out that the thing that puts singles off the most is really a negative profile. So you tend to avoid those, and you won't swipe right on those. So when someone reads your profile, you want to give them a very light, a very happy, positive, optimistic kind of a feel, so that they'll be attracted to swipe right. So if you look at the profile example that they have there, yes, so you can see that this lady says know a lot and not. So there's a lot of negative language. So I would definitely say to avoid those. So what should you say then? So the next slide, if you see the example again, to avoid, talk about avoid again. So don't say things like, if you lack drive, confidence, you're not smart, don't message me. So again, it's very negative. So rather than saying what you don't want, right? Keep saying what you don't want. I think you should say what you want. So another example of what you shouldn't say first would be, not here for one night stand. So if you're only looking for a good time, swipe left. I mean, yes, I think a lot of us don't want that, but again, to really put it out there, it shows that you actually have a lot of baggage. Probably have bad experiences before. Yeah. So instead, say what you want or what you would prefer. So like, I'm attracted, right, to men who are strong, confident. Yeah, big goals make me laugh. You know, someone like that. If you read my bio, and you know, you maybe just my Prince Charming or something like that. So I think that is very attractive, and I would want to connect with this person. Yeah. Okay, and then moving forward to the next part of your online profile, your intro. Actually, same thing, put something positive and add some humor in it. So you can say something like what in this example, I can't cycle to save my life. If you successfully teach me how, drinks on me. So it's like you're putting an invitation out there. So I think it's quite open and a very receiving kind of intro. And I think you will definitely get more people to swipe right on your profile.
Thank you so much, Melinda. Yeah. I think that's awesome, and I think you really brought up some points that are actually on the mind of our participants tonight as well. So you know, we have someone who say that you know, like she usually would say that strictly no FWB. And then she asked that, you know, I feel that it's important to state that there's no FWB. And then I think you also mentioned, right, that maybe you might not want to say that no one night stands and things like that. And actually we have another participant who say that, you know, like people who state that no hookup and no one night stand thing is a turn off for me. Not that I do that anyways, but it just makes me kind of avoid these people because maybe of just the vibe that they are putting out there or how they act. So I agree with you, Melinda. It's like I know that, you know, like like after a while, like being on dating apps, you know, it is quite irritating or annoying, right? To keep getting all of this kind of requests that you obviously are not looking out for. But at the same time, I believe in the law of attraction, and I believe that what we focus on is the thing that will happen. So, you know, like rather than focusing on like one night stand, you know, as in you're not trying to focus on one night stand, but because you are just putting out there that I do not want to have one night stand, but at the same time, you are putting the word one night stand out there, you know, or like, you know, I do not want to have a FWB, but again you're putting that out there. So it might be, you know, when we keep focusing on something, it might actually amplify it, and actually then, you know, we're kind of sending the message out to the universe. But sometimes, like when we send messages out, they don't hear all the words no, you know, like they don't hear the negative words, they only hear like what the item you're putting out there. So I agree with what Melinda has said. So rather than saying that, you know, to say that, you know, I'm looking for a serious relationship, you know, like I'm so things more on what you want rather than what you might not want might be a better way when it comes to writing your profile. Okay, so let's hear from Angela. So Angela, I think you have more ideas, you know, on how we can create an irresistible online profile.
Yes. Okay lah. So now is the first step lah is to draw out similarities on your matches profile so that it's easier for you to create a conversation. So for example, like earlier Melinda said that she put in her profile lah. She said like can't cycle to save my life. So if you successfully teach me how to, drinks are on me. So if I see that in a lady's profile and I'm a guy, I would say, I will teach you how to ride a bike, but it will cost more than a drink. How about dinner? And then you put a cheeky face. Okay, remember the goal of like using online dating app is to meet up in person. So you should try to avoid like chatting for too long. Too long is like more than 2 weeks before initiating a meetup.
Yeah, thank you, Angela, for that. And I think, you know, one of the biggest misconception that a lot of people have is that they feel that, oh, you know, like if I initiate a meetup too early, you know, or I say that we should meet up, you know, does it come across that I'm very desperate, you know, like, or I'm very needy and things like that. But I think ultimately, like, you also do not want to waste your time. You really want to know, like, you know, who are the people who are sincere, who are the people who are genuine, or who are the people who are like potentially scammers and things like that, right? So one of a very good way to do that is to, you know, like not spend too much time chatting. I mean, of course, chatting is important initially for you to also like suss out like whether, you know, this person might be someone you might be interested in, but not too much, because ultimately if the person is like you know, who's also using the dating app to want to, you know, like meet someone with the idea of starting a relationship, then, you know, dating is an offline activity. So I feel that the earlier you do it, the better it is, because like very quickly you are able to ascertain whether this person is serious, whether this person is genuine, and this person is even real. Because, you know, like they can fake it, you know, like through chats, but obviously they can't like fake it, you know, if the photo they show you is this, if they are catfishing you, they can't catfish you in person. So definitely something to think about. Another way to initiate or introduce yourself after being matched is definitely to create topics of your daily life. So I think especially now with COVID, you know, like we are doing so many interesting things at home, right? So like for example, you know, if you enjoy playing games, you know, you enjoy like friendly competition, you can say, oh, you know, I read on your profile that you actually always win in board games, you know, so are you up for a challenge? You know, I bet I can beat you, you know, smiley face. So I think when you you know, like bantering with the person, having a conversation, it just seems a lot more fun, you know, like a lot lighter as well. And do remember to use emojis, you know, like, or emoticons when you are typing, because one of the things is that when we are talking face to face, right, people can hear our voice, people can, you know, like see our expressions. But the challenge sometimes with typing is that you might not want to sound so stern or so serious, right? But the other person on the receiving end, they can't hear your emotions. So it's always good to use a bit of emojis to just share that you are joking. Yeah. So over to you, Melinda. I believe that you have a couple of more tips for our participants tonight.
Yes, Violet. So just now Angela mentioned that the point of dating apps is really to go out and meet in person and not to stay on apps too long. But I do know that there are some singles as well who may not be so ready to meet up in person so soon. So what should you do if you're in this position and you're not ready to meet up yet? So first of all, don't say no. Don't just outright reject. Because if you really do that, just say no, the other person may not want to ask you out again because maybe their feelings are hurt or they're a bit embarrassed. So you don't want to burn the bridge. So instead, you should maybe give another suggestion. Maybe not this week, maybe next week or another 2 weeks. So that buys you some time. It gives you some time to get yourself emotionally ready to meet up. And so all the while not totally just rejecting this person. So I also would like to share something very interesting. It's some annoying dating behaviors. So on our next year, so if you can see on this chart, this this chart shows the most irritating dating app behaviors voted by singles. So you can see first on the list, lying about themselves on these apps. So if you're not sporty, so don't say you're sporty, because again, we keep emphasizing this is about actually meeting up with the person, right? Eventually. So if you say something that you are not, this person is going to find out anyway. So why waste all this time to put up a lie? Okay. And then second as well, which is very irritating, is being matched with someone only to be ignored. So so sometimes we are matched with someone and then we don't get a reply, or we get a reply but this person don't continue with the chat. So do be honest, let them know as well if you don't want to continue with the chat. I mean, you can let them down softly by telling them you're busy, you cannot chat now, instead of just blue ticking them and disappearing after they ask you a question. Back to you, Violet.
Thank you, Melinda. And I think, we have someone in the audience who asked us, like, what does ghosting means? Yeah, so ghosting basically is like what it suggests, like, like you are talking to this person and then the person just suddenly like disappears like a ghost. So that's what it means. And also blue tick. So what blue tick means is like, like when we are using our chatting app, then usually you would see like, okay, first, it has been delivered, like then it has been read. So like then you realize that, how come, it's already double tick, but I don't get a response. So I think just like what Melinda have said, it's always better to just be upfront. I mean, if it's not really working out the way that you would like it to work out and then you're not really interested in the person, it's okay, like I think people are matured enough, people, like after going through so many different profiles and dates, right? I think they are open to just get a rejection, rather than just kind of beat around the bush or just ghost them, which is not very nice. I think we don't want that to be done to us as well. So let's not do that to others. Okay, so we have shared a lot of tips. So actually the next part of it is we are going to critique some of the profiles that have been sent to us. But maybe before we do that, you can share with us like what are some of the tips that you have taken away, from our experts tonight. What are some of the things immediately, one or two things that you feel you can immediately make changes to your profile and you feel that is going to be helpful to you? Yep. So let us know right now in the chat. Yeah. So what are the one or two things that you have found really useful? So Angie say change my photos. Okay. Amy say bio intro. Jia Yin say no negatives. Yeah, that's a good one. Daniel say put structure into my profile. Awesome. Lee also say no negative. Joe also say not to be a negative Nancy and spend some time to think and write. Yes, I agree. Definitely sometimes we do need to put a bit of thought into it. Sunny say, I want to change my profile description soon. Susie say, creating a clickbait is awesome. Niti say, really like the clickbait. Jess say, topic for conversation starter in the intro. Lynn say, shouldn't upload photo with the face covered. Yes, definitely. So I think, it's like if you're going to do online dating, you need to realize that your face, you need to show your face lah. If you don't want to show a face, then maybe consider some other platforms like online dating might not be suitable. Alice say no negative. Benny say clickbait. Awesome. Okay, so now we're going to jump right into it because like time always flies when we're having fun, right? Okay, so we are going to jump into the profile that has been submitted, and I'm going to ask like my wonderful coaches Angela and Melinda to give a quick thought on what do you think of the profile. So maybe Chris, you can pull up like the first profile that has been sent to us. Yes, thank you, Chris. And then, yes, so Melinda, you want to go first for this one?
Sure. Okay, so I think over here. So we can't see her photos here. But so I want to talk a bit about the photo lah, but then we can't really see. But I just want to highlight that we should remember that dating apps are again all about the visual aspect. So I cannot emphasize enough how important this is, right? The quality and the type of photos that you put out there to represent you. So the information in this profile, I must say, is pretty light-hearted, and it gives me some good insights about her. I like the adjectives that she used, like warm and humorous and comfortable, because it gives me a positive feel. And so I cannot find much fault, to be honest, except maybe to improve on her photos, which we can't see here. But at the end of the day, you know, the right person that you are looking for will be attracted to your profile. So be a little bit patient.
Okay, thank you, Melinda. Angela, what about you?
I agree with Melinda. The written profile are pretty good. Just a slight improvement on the pictures because the color in the photo are quite similar. Like we are unable to see the audience, but the real picture, the color of the face and to the background is a very similar color. And also the lighting, it was I believe it may be in a restaurant at night time, so the lighting a little bit dim. So if you are going to take a profile picture, make sure the lighting is good, especially the main profile picture.
Okay, thank you, Angela. So I mean, I'm sorry we need to cover up the photo, but I didn't realize we're going to cover up the whole thing. So I think for you guys looking at this, you are like, what are we talking about, right? Okay, but anyway, the photo is that it's a close-up photo, but it doesn't really show the entire half body as well. So actually, I feel that for the photo, like I think this lady, she's actually probably slim. But the angle of the photo actually make her look bigger than she is. It's really just the angling. And I think the other part which Angela and Melinda have already covered is also like the lighting. I don't think it was very flattering for her. For the profile, I mean, I agree, it's okay. I don't think it's bad or anything. But at the same time, my feedback is that I think it doesn't really stand out. So, imagine if you're a guy, you're looking at by now, I don't know, 10 profiles by tonight or another 20 profiles. I feel that, with this profile, there wasn't anything that would make it very memorable. If I'm going to come back to it, would I remember this profile? I think probably not. So I think, to use some of the stories and anecdotes that both Angela and Melinda have shared just now. So for example, maybe instead of saying love to travel, to share some interesting places that you have traveled to, I think we showed one of the example just now. So I think it shows your personality a bit more, and it's also more interesting and memorable for your potential matches. Okay, so let's jump quickly into the second profile. Yes, so the second profile is actually a guy. Yeah. So maybe Angela, you want to start first?
Yes, sure. So this is a fairly good profile for a gentleman. So the profile shows that he likes traveling. You can feel his passion there. So he communicates honesty and passion. He also talks about his hobbies. So the area to improve on would be, I feel personally the profile is a little bit too long, but otherwise it's very good.
Okay, thank you, Angela. Melinda?
Yes, I can see the effort he puts into his info. But yes, agree with Angela as well. It is a little long. So sometimes too much can be perceived as trying too hard. Yeah, and also back to the visual aspect as well. I think if he put in a few more different photos to give the ladies more feel, that will work better.
Okay, thank you, Melinda, for that. Okay, so our last profile for tonight that we have received. So yeah, let's put it up. Okay, so Melinda, maybe you want to start first for this one?
Okay, so this third profile, you can see, is very short, and we can also see a lot of grammatical errors. Yeah, so it may seem quite trivial, but it actually really matters, especially to me or some people who really actually read. So I would say if this person is genuine to find love through these dating apps, right, please spend a bit more time to create a better profile and use the tips that we shared earlier.
Okay, thank you, Melinda. Yes, I agree. And we have Deborah who say, me too, I also read. Okay, Angela, what about you? What do you think of this profile?
Definitely, this profile doesn't got much to say, and it makes ladies like to get to know the guy before start talking to a guy. So this doesn't give any reason for me. Why should I talk to you lah? Okay, so and also it doesn't seem very sincere because you didn't put in any effort lah.
I agree. Yeah, I think, like looking at this profile, it's like it seems that the person just like, okay, like everybody asked me to go online dating, I will try it out, and then I just can't be bothered to write anything. So, yeah, this is kind of like the impression that this profile is giving out. Okay. Okay, so thank you so much, Angela and Melinda, for your feedback on some of these profiles that have been sent to us. And yes, unfortunately, we are nearing the end of 1 hour. Okay, let's just see, if we can just maybe pick up some Q&A and whether we can cover some of them. Okay, let me just see. Okay. I think, okay, this is a good one. So how to identify that the profile pic is real because some pictures look too professional. Okay, so maybe Angela, any quick thoughts on this?
Yes. So again, I aim to meet up in person within 1 to 2 weeks. And usually my suggestion is look at other pictures lah. So most people would post like more than one pictures lah.
Yes, thanks, Angela. And I think another quick tip is to use this tool called Google Image Reverse Tool, something like that. I can't remember the exact name, but I think it's more or less something like that. So if you just put up the image, right? I mean, if the person is trying to catfish you, chances are the same image will appear a lot of different places, and it might even be a stock photo and things like that. So yeah, so maybe you want to check that out. Okay, for Melinda, so this question is, most dating apps provide a simple paragraph, not simple, I mean a sample paragraph for bio. Do you think it's good to use the sample para, or should I rewrite everything from the beginning? So Melinda, what do you think?
I think if you are new to starting up your bio, I think you can use some parts of the sample. Yeah, but it's always good to customize to yourself because it's still about you, right? So you want to put a bit about your personality, about your interest, a bit about you, so that when someone looks at your profile, they can get a feel about how you are. So ultimately, I think it's still good to sit down a little bit and spend some time to write about yourself.
I agree with you, Melinda. Okay, so this one is for you, Angela. Does the bio have limit number of words? So does it differ apps to apps? Yeah, so maybe you can share your experience on this.
Like Tinder. Tinder usually have a very limited amount of words you can put in, like 1 line or 2 lines, and very limited information as well. Like Coffee Meets Bagel, apart from like written profile, you also need to fill in some background, your height, education, like what are you looking for. So that is important, especially for ladies. So if a guy, sometimes they may not choose like long-term relationship lah. Okay, so you may need to reconsider if a guy only put like just friends lah, because there is a possibility this person is already attached.
Thank you, Angela. Okay, so this one is for you, Melinda. Like, are there specific things that female profiles should avoid? Like, for example, revealing photos are a no-no. Like, what are your thoughts?
I think it's subjective how revealing is, but yes, I guess maybe not unless you really have a model's body. So maybe you want to put out a bikini picture, but I would recommend not to, because you probably will be attracting the wrong kind of attention to your profile. Yeah, maybe not too revealing. Yeah, but a somewhat nice sexy dress, I think that's okay. Like evening wear, I think with a little bit of cleavage, I think all these are still okay. Yeah, but not too much. Yeah.
Yeah, agree with you, Melinda. I think at the end of the day, like again, it depends on our intention. Like I do believe that, you know, like most of the people who come to us, you know, you guys are looking for a serious relationship. You're not looking for a one night stand. So I think, you know, if you are looking for a serious relationship, you also want to make sure that you attract the right type of people to your profile, like what Melinda have just said. Yep. So 2 minutes from 10. I think, you know, before you guys go, I just want to let you know that we have prepared a very special webinar gift for you tonight, and it's of course something that is very special and relevant to our topic for tonight. So it's an ebook on how to spot scammers and win on dating apps. Okay, so I think this is very relevant because I just saw a question, you know, from someone who say, yes, you know, how do you spot scammers? You know, not just photos. How do you actually, you know? So this ebook is great. You know, like there are a lot of like different ways on how you can actually spot scammers and win on dating apps. So if this is something that you're interested in, you can just use the link that Christina will be putting out. You know, just fill in your details. You know, we'll send the ebooks to you, and of course, you know, at the same time, you'll get a complimentary session as well. You know, to analyze your profile. And so many things I need to tell you about tonight. Okay, so next week we are also going to have another very awesome weekly webinar. Like, so you know that we are always trying to like think of what might be relevant to you guys and what will be interesting. You know, because I think a lot of you have said that you'll join us because, you know, like of the interesting topics. So I think some of you are like K-dramas fans like me, because I know sometimes I talk about K-drama, you all will tell me you have watched this, you have watched that. Okay, so how many of you have watched It's Okay to Be Not Okay? Yeah, let me know. Yeah, let me know in the chat box right now. That's okay. Yeah, some of you is like, me, love that show. Okay. Okay, so it seems that quite a lot of you, I see that you all have watched It's Okay to Be Not Okay. And then some say, me but haven't finished yet. Okay, so anyway, that's the title of our next webinar. It's Okay to Be Not Okay, the dating edition. And we have a special guest. Unfortunately, our special guest is not Kim Soo Hyun or Seo Ye Ji, okay? It's actually going to be a psychologist, you know, who will be sharing with us, you know, what to look out for. Because I think, you know, like nowadays, you know, there are definitely a lot of different people out there, you know, like and you know, sometimes they might have shared some characteristics, you know, of what you have seen on the show as well. So in this edition of our upcoming webinar, we'll be talking about sociopaths, we'll be talking about narcissists, we'll be talking about gaslighting, you know, like, so what should you do if you find yourself in such a situation? Or, you know, like, how do you even maybe suss out, like, is this person potentially a sociopath? Yes, so, you know, if there's something that you're interested in, you're interested to find out more, definitely sign up for our upcoming webinar. So currently 10:01, so thank you so much, guys, for joining us tonight. I also want to once again thank our wonderful and lovely panelists, both of them, Melinda and Angela. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining us tonight. And of course, you know, like, to all our participants tonight, do join me in thanking them as well. I hope that you have learned a lot of great tips. I think a lot of you have mentioned just now that, you know, you definitely have some great takeaways that you're going to do straight away. So as usual, Christina and I will be staying on a bit more for those of you who have not claimed your webinar gifts. So, you know, you can do so now. So thanks, Melinda and Angela. You know, you guys can go take a rest. You know, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Yep. So once again, thank you, ladies.